In this lesson, we'll discuss the benefits of code reuse and walk through the steps of how to convert your code for use as a sub-VI. Modular code implements the functionality of an application in units that are independent of one another, so that any changes you make to a given module will require minimal changes to your other modules. In LabVIEW, you implement each code module as a sub-VI. Sub-VIs are similar to the subroutine in text-based programming languages. Use sub-VIs when you have code that performs identical operations on different parts of your block diagram or in another VI. The following pseudocode and block diagrams demonstrate the analogy between sub-VIs and subroutines. Let's explore how to create a sub-VI from a section of code within an existing VI. To do this, you need to select the code you want to turn into a sub-VI, and then go to Edit, Create Sub-VI. The icon for a VI helps you identify it on the block diagram of another VI. You should create a meaningful icon for every VI. Sub-VIs with a well-defined icon convey more information about their purpose and reduce the need for additional documentation. You should avoid using idioms and colloquialisms when creating your icons because they may not translate well into other languages. For example, to not represent a data logging VI with a picture of a tree branch or a lumberjack. Let's explore the process for creating an icon. First, right-click the VI icon and select Edit Icon. Note that you have a default icon with a number in the right bottom corner. I'll just delete this. In the Templates tab, we can change the visual style of our icon. If you have a group of VIs that form an API, you can use the banner icon template to identify their appearance. It's important that you use a consistent style for related VIs. Switch to the Glyphs tab. There are a number of glyphs that ship with LabVIEW. To look at the glyphs that you want to use for your icon, you can either browse or you can search. In this case, I'm going to search for save, and then I'll search for array. You can also change the color of each glyph that you've used. In this case, since this is an array, I'm going to choose an orange to match the color of a double array. The connector pane defines the inputs and outputs you can wire to the VI so that you can use it in a sub-VI. The sub-VI receives data from the calling VI at its inputs, passes the data to the block diagram, and sends the results back to the calling VI through its outputs. Here's how you configure a connector pane for a VI. The front panel of our VI contains all of the controls and indicators that we can use to communicate with this VI. Keep this in mind as we're going to modify the connector pane. For this, right-click the connector pane in the front panel. Go to the Patterns and choose the one that best matches your VI. Here we can leave the default 4x2. To wire the controls and indicators to our connector pane, we'll click each terminal and then click the corresponding control or indicator. You can also designate which inputs are required, recommended, and optional to prevent users from forgetting to wire necessary SUBVI terminals. Required means that the block diagram on which you place the SUBVI will be broken if you do not wire those inputs. To change a terminal settings, right-click a terminal in the connector pane and select This Connection Is. Then select Required, Recommended, or Optional. In general, inputs are on the left and outputs are on the right. Top and bottom terminals are flexible and can be used for both, typically after the left or right columns are fully used. If your front panel includes more terminals than this, you should consider modifying your code. When a user places your VI on the block diagram of a VI that they are creating, they may want to learn more about your VI and its terminals without having to open and explore it. To create documentation for your VI, select File, VI Properties, choose Documentation as a category, and type the description in the VI Description section. To view a SUBVI's description, hover your mouse cursor over the SUBVI on the block diagram and view the Context Help window. To place your SUBVI on the block diagram, to create documentation for a terminal on your VI, right-click the terminal that you want to document and select Description and Tip from the menu. To view a SUBVI terminal description, hover your mouse cursor over the terminal and view the Context Help window. To place your SUBVI on the block diagram, drag it from the Project Explorer to the block diagram of the calling VI. Or if your SUBVI is open, you can just drag and drop its icon. If your block diagram is performing custom error handling, use an error case structure around its contents so that the code doesn't run and potentially overwrite an incoming error. Use the error case to skip core functionality and pass appropriate values to the SUBVI outputs. In this example, the main VI generates a waveform from a database. Because complex waveform configuration is resource-consuming, this application uses a SUBVI to perform the waveform generation from a database based on the provided ID. Here's a summary of what you've learned in this lesson.